Hello Marvel fans, in this video, we're diving into one of the darkest stories ever whispered in the Marvel community. Insiders are saying that Spider-Man may not survive Doomsday. The question we're answering is simple: does Spider-Man really die? Or does he somehow survive the end of the world? This isn't just another superhero battle. This is a story about sacrifice, fear, and the limits of even the most beloved hero. And by the end of this video, you'll know the shocking truth about Spider-Man's fate in Doomsday. Spider-Man, dying. 3 words none of us ever thought we'd hear. But in the cataclysmic event known only as Doomsday, the impossible happens. This isn't your friendly neighborhood story anymore. This is survival, sacrifice, and the painful truth that even heroes bleed. And no, he doesn't get saved by some magical bagel from Aunt May. Sorry Marvel fans, this story hurts. Today, we're diving into a fan-made storyline where Spider-Man faces his darkest hour, and possibly his last. By the end, you'll never look at Peter Parker the same way again. The world has fallen apart. Doomsday isn't just a battle, it's the complete collapse of Earth itself. Buildings crash into rubble, entire heroes vanish, and New York, the heart of Spider-Man's story, becomes a graveyard. Imagine standing in Times Square, but instead of neon lights, all you see is fire and shadows. That's the battlefield Spider-Man has to face. But Spider-Man isn't Superman. He's not indestructible. Every punch he throws in this chaos takes something out of him. Every jump across shattered buildings brings him closer to collapse. His greatest strength has always been his humanity, but here, that humanity might be his undoing. Light joke for a break. Honestly, if I were Peter, I'd be Googling top 10 ways to survive an apocalypse without super strength. But hey, maybe that's just me. The first sign of his decline isn't even physical, it's emotional. With allies falling and civilians dying all around him, Spider-Man starts to break. That famous sense of responsibility? It twists into a curse. And the weight of it all, it's heavier than any villain he's ever faced. And this is just the beginning. Because what happens next makes fans whisper, is Spider-Man already gone? The turning point comes with the first major wound. A blow that crushes him, tearing through body and spirit. His webs falter, his leaps slow. For the first time, Peter Parker thinks, I can't keep this up. But walking away, impossible. That's not who he is. Then comes the nightmare choice. Save the city, or save the one person he still loves. His heart screams one answer. His responsibility whispers another. And Spider-Man proves what kind of hero he is. And no, he can't just save both like in a video game side mission. Sorry, this isn't Spider-Man PS5. But as Doomsday grows stronger, Spider-Man grows weaker. The city that once cheered his name now watches in silence. His webs snap faster, his punches land softer, and still, he refuses to quit. How do you stop Doomsday when your best weapon is already breaking? And then comes the sacrifice. In one final desperate act, Spider-Man shields the innocent with his own body. His mask torn, his hands trembling, he looks at the faces he swore to protect. And he knows, this may be his last battle. Not for glory. Not for recognition, but because it's who he is. But what happens when even sacrifice isn't enough? The silence falls. Spider-Man is struck down. Not with an explosion, not with dramatic flair, but quietly, painfully. The fan-made story lingers on his final breath, forcing us to face the truth, even heroes end. And in that silence, we feel the weight of everything he ever stood for. But his death isn't the end. It becomes a spark. The heroes who remain rally together. The civilians who once looked helpless rise to fight for survival. Spider-Man dies, but Peter Parker lives on in what tone? But here's the twist, was this truly the end? Or just the beginning of something darker? Could the cast of Doomsday be hiding secrets that even Spider-Man's sacrifice couldn't stop? Strong, inspiring CTA. If you want to understand who truly shaped this apocalyptic nightmare, you need to know the players behind it. And I've got you covered. Click the end screen now and watch my full breakdown of the Doomsday cast. Trust me, once you see who's pulling the strings, you'll never think of this story the same way again.